Have you ever spent much time to think about what your legacy will be? I'm out on a bike ride right now, so pardon me for being a little bit out of breath, but just thought I'd stop and do a little walk and talk here because this thought just crossed my mind. Like, in this day and age, the year is 2025, and a site like YouTube has been around now for about 20 years. This generation, Gen X, Millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, these generations, and the boomers too, all, and some of the greatest generation, all have the power now for the first time to kind of like have a say in what their legacy is going to be, by having all these tools and technology that we have now that people in previous generations didn't have. I would love to know more about what my grandfather did as a kid, what my great-grandfather did, how they got to America, who was born here, who was born overseas, all that kind of stuff. And so when you think about the power that we have to be able to tell our stories, it makes me realize that we need to be very thoughtful in how we portray ourselves. I think integrity and honesty are key. We all have good days, we all have bad days. That's part of honesty, that's part of integrity. It's not all gonna be sunshine and roses. But I know that in 75 years, 50 years, I would love to be able to talk to, I don't have any kids, but like my my niece's kids, my nephew's kids, and be able to say hi to them from another time. This is the year 2025, so hello to the future. I'm your great uncle, because that to me really interests me. And if I could convey any message, it would be to be yourself, be honest, get outside, get some, good morning, get some fresh air in those lungs. This morning when I woke up, I was kind of in like a mood where I was like, I don't really want to do anything. And I kept thinking, like, take your own advice, get out on that bike. You always feel better afterwards. I was thinking, I don't really have much to say today. And then all of a sudden, now I do. So when it comes to legacy, I would ask you, put this challenge forward to you to say, what have you done today to help preserve your legacy? Right now, I've done a lot of art. I think people could tell some cool stories about me, but as you know, in a generation, 100 years, stories fade, even pictures fade. So what can we do to help us tell our own story now, to share with others, and also to have it be impactful potentially for those in the future who may be dealing with an entirely different set of circumstances than us? Something to think about. And back to those future great nieces and nephews of mine, we share the same DNA. How cool is that? What I find interesting is I look back at pictures of like I knew my grandparents, and I kind of knew my great grandparents too, but when I look back at time, you can see things about them. My great grandfather passed away days after I was born, so I didn't really know him. But I do know by looking at pictures of him. I've heard stories and all that, but I can tell this was a man who cared about his family and his friends because he was carrying a camera. So someone who didn't care about people wouldn't really be doing that, I don't think. And so it's kind of neat, to be able to see these little slivers into our past. Even though we lived generations apart, I know that what's inside me, maybe even the same, health things or challenges or how I think or how I speak or whatever, are kind of a portion of it, I would say, is inherited, So wouldn't it be interesting to see? Technically, well, I guess it's a portion inherited because environment and nature and nurture and all that stuff. we have YouTube and internet, like, 75 years, 50 years ago, whatever, they had different stuff, and how they communicated was different. So, you work with what you got and you adapt to whatever you have to work with. But I think it's really interesting to learn these things about people from old photos. And so in modern times, like I said, the year's 2025, we have the capacity to tell our own story. And so, like, what I would like to say to my family or people who come after me who maybe never met me, because I am getting older, is, first of all, you rock. Don't ever forget it. It's in the genes. Confidence is typically not a problem in this bloodline. And honesty and integrity. Tell your story in a way I feel that is helpful, that can be helpful to others. There's a reason that we're all here. There's a reason that we all do the things we do. And at the end of the day, it's really important to be honest with yourself and be honest with others. There are times in life where we all have good days, we have bad days, we go through phases, some great, some not so great. And at the end of the day, it's like that old line from that Billy Joel song that I love. Either way, it's okay. You wake up with yourself. Like, doesn't matter if you go to bed alone or with someone, or, you still got yourself. And so I just think it's important for us to think about the stories that we're telling, and hopefully we can help others with what we have to share and our knowledge and our experience. We live in a time now where we have all of these platforms that we never had before. Like, I would love to know what if my great aunt or great grandma, if they had YouTube back then, like, what would they be talking about? What would they be doing? I would love to watch that, because I didn't know them, but I know that they're with me, And so to me, I think that if we think about the future, us now, about the stories that we tell, we have a certain responsibility to tell things fairly, honestly, accurately. Anyways, something to think about as we take on the day. What will you do today to help tell the story of your legacy?